Hi everyone, this is Tom with the LEC preview of this week. The LEC just had a 1 weekend break. The players had about 2 weeks off, and we're heading into week 5, which is the second half, the second round robin in the LEC. Obviously, after week 4 ended, everything was pretty close in the LEC. There was a large mid portion in the league, and this is going to be the half in which everything is going to be decided. It's super exciting to see how these teams have adjusted, and let's head into the matches of this weekend and do some predictions. The first match is between Vitality and SK Gaming. Now, both are at a 4-5 record in this split. SK Gaming had a bit on and off in their matches. I think that's fair to say. One match they would be really good and dominate a team like, for example, Misfits, or they would play against G2 and win even that match. And then the other match they would lose against XL Esports, for example. So it's a bit on and off for them. Vitality had a very good start of the split and dropped off later on, only to turn it around in the final weekend. So I think for these teams, these are both definitely mid-tier teams in what they've seen in their performance so far. I would have to give the edge to SK Gaming overall. I think with Crown Shots in the bot lane and Genox in the top lane, I think those are the key areas where SK will perform better than Vitality and take the win over them. Then the second match of the day is going to be Rogue versus Schalke 04. And while Rogue did pick up a win in the last weekend, on the last day, against Fnatic, I still think they will bite the dust against Rogue. I think Rogue overall has just looked super solid, great macro play, great individual play, especially from Larsen. And Schalke 04, I think they have found a solid roster now with Odo Amno obviously in the top lane, then Gillius in the jungle, Abedag in mid, and Neon and Dreams in the bot lane. I think that's the roster that they will keep heading into the second half of the summer split. And that has the most growth potential, I think. And that's also something that Dylan Falco noticed in an interview I did with him, that this is how they can improve their play. Still, you have to give it to Rogue here. Schalke at times just didn't look like a team, and while apparently they're performing well in scrims, it's not something that has gone to the stage yet, and Rogue is the other way around. I think some teams are not very impressed by the scrim performance, but then on stage they smash, and that's where it matters. The third match is Misfits and Fnatic. And yeah, Misfits at a 5-4 score and Fnatic at a 4-5 score. I think both teams may be a bit disappointed by that. Fnatic obviously because they were second place in the spring split playoffs, and Misfits because they added Kobe to their roster and probably expected more. But the summer split so far has been hectic, and with Misfits sharing a third place together with G2 with this score is probably the best they could ask for, given how hectic everything has been. Yeah, I'm not sure how to approach this. I think Fnatic at the end of the summer split's first half, so at the end of week 4, they just didn't play as a team. They need someone to step up and guide this team and be a leader. And I don't think Mithy is somebody who does that, and I don't think any of the players are somebody who will do that for the entire team. So if they have found that, then I expect their performance to rise and to get better, because they definitely have the talent, right? If you look at each individual player, they should easily make it to playoffs and to Worlds. Misfits, yeah, I was a bit disappointed by Razork, so I hope he steps it up in the second half, because he did play well in the spring split. And in the end, I'll give it to Misfits. Actually, I think towards the end of the first half, they showed a lot more promise with their team play, played well against G2, and won against them as well. So yeah, let's give it to Misfits. I think as a team they play more coherently. Then there's Mad Lions versus XL Esports as the fourth match, and yeah, I think XL saw a great upward trend towards the end of the split. They definitely stepped up the performance. They had a 2-0 weekend in the very final weekend, and they beat G2 even. So that's very promising. But against Mad Lions, I don't think they stand a chance. I think just on pure individual skill, Mad Lions will win this match. because this team just has not slowed down ever since they got going in the spring split, and I don't expect them to do so anytime soon. Then there is G2 versus Origin as the final match of the first day, and yeah, another two teams that have been very disappointing. G2 obviously with a bad opening weekend, and after that 2 more losses, one against Excel and one against Misfits, and Origin with an also disappointing performance. And not only results, they are 4-5, which granted, 5 teams are in the LEC at the moment, but just their level of their way of playing has been very chaotic. And they did notably bench Destiny, their support player, and got Jack Troll, the substitute support player from Vitality, who everybody is praising for his individual skill, but he has yet to prove it on the stage. So maybe that will make a difference for Origin in this second half in the summer split. But against G2, I think they will not be able to to use that new talent to get a win. I think G2, especially with the break, which was much needed after Perk's dad passed away, and there was a lot of stress within the team, and he took a week off to relax and get a mental reset. I think, yeah, I definitely think G2 is just going to be revitalized. I hope they are, honestly, not because I want to see them win against Origin, but because this is a team with a lot of potential, and I think that League of Legends is just a better place with the G2 that's playing well. Then on the second day, we start off with Schalke 04 versus SK Gaming, and I think that Schalke 04, while, again, I'm going to say it again, has seen an upward trend. Based on team play, SK Gaming is going to win this. I think on individual skill, they do edge out Schalke 04 slightly, but not significantly enough for that to be a decisive call. I think the biggest difference, I would say, is in the mid lane, probably between Zazie and Abedage. I think Abedage has played horribly this split so far, and definitely, wow, apparently he's a god, well, at least a mid-tier mid laner in scrims. You gotta perform on stage, and he hasn't done that. And Zazie has played a bit more of a supportive role rather than a carry role within the team the first 4 weeks, but definitely did play better in that role. And yeah, I think just in general, SK Gaming has had a solid game plan. Their game plan so far has almost every match been go for the Drakes. That's what they're set on to do, and that's what they do. And they do that very well. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, against, in the grander scheme of things. But yeah, I think SK is going to win this pretty easily. Then there's Rogue versus XL Esports. And I don't know how much to say about this. I think XL has seen improvements, especially in their bot and top lane over the past, over the first 4 weeks. I think Cry's, he's a rookie, so, you got to give him some time, give him some leeway. But, and he improved over time. But I also think that the Torre-Patrick combo in the bot lane has gotten significantly better over time. And, but still, you're playing against Rogue, a team with such great macro play, that you, and individual players, look at Larson, Hansama and Vendor stepping up. Inspired is one of the best junglers in the LEC at the moment. And then you have Finn, who has absolutely improved a lot compared to the spring split. So yeah, I Rogue is gonna win this, I think. Misfits against Origin is a bit similar to the story of Misfits versus Fnatic. As in that Fnatic and Origin both have been major disappointments so far. And Misfits has, considering all the hectic scenarios in the LEC, considering everything, has been okay in their performance. I think they definitely wanted to get more, obviously. You cannot really lose against SK Gaming if you want to make it to Worlds. So I think in the end, I would have to give the edge to Misfits. I think with Origin, new bot laner, they say they have a lot of great synergy, but when it matters most, obviously, you have to show that your new synergy. There's a lot of extra pressure that weighs on your shoulders when you're actually playing in the league. So I'm not sure how well Origin's new synergy with Jack Troll in the bot lane together with Upset will. I'm not sure how strong that will be. It's something to wait and see. Maybe they play out of their minds. Obviously, always a possibility. I don't expect them to, given their play style. It's very reserved, very protective. And I think Misfits will win this one. Then there is Vitality versus Fnatic. Both at a 4-5 score. Obviously, when that day comes around, no longer the case, as they both will have played one match. And I will have to give the edge to Fnatic here. I think that Fnatic has some time to reset and find that leadership I was talking about earlier. And I think that overall, when you see Misfits as their first opponent, that's an opponent I think that will be able to edge them out, especially with a new half and having a refreshed break basically. But then you have Vitality, that I don't think Vitality has the skill to beat Fnatic, especially if Fnatic has found their footing and if they manage to to find that synergy again, find that team comp, and not only find that individual skill, what we've seen so far, especially from Selfmade and Reckless in this summer split, but find the same wavelength and find the performance. So I will have to give the edge to Fnatic here. Then the match of the week undoubtedly is G2 versus Mad Lions. Obviously the opening match of the summer split as a whole, which G2 dominantly won, and I expect them to win again. I think that Mad Lions, while slowly, I guess you could see a gradual climb in their play. They have been a consistent factor and consistent in their growth as well. And I think G2, especially in the first half of the summer split, was just incredibly shaky. Obviously, there were a lot of circumstances involved with that. But I think that G2, once again, I hope it as well. But when G2 is set and determined to beat a team, they can absolutely crush anybody. Fnatic was dealt with in crushing fashion. Rogue was defeated dominantly in the first half, and I think G2 has just turned up all the engines again for this second half, because now it matters, right? They are 5-4. Playoffs aren't guaranteed with so many teams in contention still, so they will have to take every opponent seriously and have to prepare for every opponent strongly, and they cannot just rely on making it to playoffs anymore and defeating people in the best of 5. I think you have to take it seriously now, and I think that's what they'll do, and based on that I think G2 will win. That's it for the preview of this week. Let me know which matches you are looking forward to, and especially what your predictions are if you disagree with anything. So let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, and stay tuned for more of it.